Thanks for joining us for the Corridor Jazz Concert. The next ensemble you'll hear is the Lisbon High School Jazz Band. We're going to talk to some Lisbon students in a minute, but right now I'd like to welcome the Lisbon director, Joseph Arch. Joe, thanks
Hey.
for being here.
Oh, no problem.
You are relatively new to, is this your second full year?
Second full year, if we can call it full years at this point, right?
Yes, because for the most part, 2020 is just not going to exist. I've been in so many things lately where I said, well, that was just last year. No, that was 2019. It was 2 years ago.
Yeah, I was joking with my choir director the other day saying, well, we're at the point in the year now where all this is brand new to me again. I don't don't have a clue what I'm doing again.
So you are a graduate of City High in Iowa City. So you did the Corridor Jazz Project when you were a student, and you just told me that you have a younger brother who is currently a city student. So I don't know. That's the first time we've ever had a director and then a younger sibling in one of our bands. So just reflect for a second about what you remember of the experience of being in the Corridor Jazz Project, and what, if anything, you said to Daniel as he got ready to participate.
It was funny, I actually just found my old CD the other day. I think it's Corridor Project 7 or 8, whichever one that I remember really being on. I was pretty just going with the flow when I was in high school. I didn't really know the first time I did it my junior year and my senior year, and I didn't know my junior year what it was we were doing a recording for. I just was like, oh, I got to show up somewhere and play my trumpet. Okay, that's cool. I'll go do that. So I think that's why I remember my senior year doing it a lot more. And I mean, we were just kind of talking about the fact that it was cool that we get to do it at the same time. It's not something that many people get the opportunity to do, but I think we're separated out by like 7 Corridor Jazz projects there or something like that. So it's kind of fun, but he's a good trombone player. I'm trying to convince him to keep doing that on into college here. So we'll see what happens. Getting a radio shout out to him.
Your guest artist this year was one of your directors in college, Jim Dreier. So it is kind of a full circle thing. Here you are kind of working with your younger brother as a little bit of a mentor, but now working with one of your professors kind of as an equal. How was that experience?
That's a really weird experience because, you're so used to taking direction entirely from that person. And now all of a sudden you're in the spot of, hey, I need you to do this, this, and this. And in a way, it was sort of uncomfortable for me, but in just, it's a growing thing, right? You learned that, oh, now we're both professionals here. But yeah, Professor Dreier, I spent a lot of time working with him. And I was actually thinking about it today. Professor Dreier made it possible for me to graduate when I did. I had made a mistake in how I'd registered for classes, and there was a required class that I had to do, and I missed it by a semester. And I came to him, and he was the one who taught it. I was like, what am I going to do? And he's like, you know what, it's fine. I'll do this as a private study with you. We'll make sure you get out of here on time. So I've always appreciated his being able to be flexible and not make me have to do, an extra year of school. He was flexible. So I really appreciate Professor Dreier.
Well, I just want to congratulate you on completing these last 2 years that have been so challenging, and the band sounds great, and we're going to hear their tune with Professor Dreier in just a minute.
Yep. Thank you.
And now we turn to the student section at Lisbon High School with a couple of members of the Lisbon Jazz Band, Zach Cooley.
Hi, thank you for having me.
And Ben Larsen.
Hey, thanks for having me back.
Before we listen to your song, which is a fabulous tune, as Mr. Arch and I talked about just a few minutes ago, featuring Jim Dreier, the great Latin percussionist. Ben, as a percussionist, tell me how it is that that Latin beat, the timbales, the claves, can take a straightforward jazz, funk, rock, or soul song and make it into something completely different?
Okay, well, last year we were told at our at a competition that the claves are the keys to life, and that's really stuck with me. I've heard that phrase that the claves are the keys to life, and really as having Professor Dreier there teaching us this, especially, he really stuck home that the clave beat really takes over wherever it is. It kind of ingrains with you. Sometimes I find myself thinking and just grooving to that beat when I have to, and it really somehow finds a way of making anything you put to it, which we've found. We did a rock song and added a clave beat with it one time. It completely transforms whatever piece you're working on into something groovy and really fun to vibe with. I really like the clave beat.
You're both seniors. As you head out, Zach, what's the one memory about Lisbon Band you're going to take with you?
The memory of all of the jazz nights we've had over the years, the sort of variety show that we put on over at Lisbon, those are just really fun nights, and I will remember those for a very long time.
Well, I think we put this off long enough. It's time to hear the Lisbon Jazz Band.
Here's Cold Duck Time from the Lisbon High School Jazz Band.
Featuring Jim Dreier on KCCK's Corridor Jazz Concert.